4 reasons as to why a U.S. citizenship application may be denied. I want to talk about it because I had a lot of questions. I received a lot of questions. I was asked several questions about denials of the U.S. citizenship application. As a matter of fact, I had 2 consultations about the subject, and that's why I decided let's just talk about it. Hopefully we might help someone in the process. Okay, the number 1 reason an application for naturalization might get denied is because of failure to maintain continuous physical presence. Okay, we have statutory requirement for the 5 years and for the 3 years, depending on the reason why you're getting a U.S. citizenship. Based on what, right? The underlying basis for you getting a U.S. citizenship. Well, let's go with the 5 years statutory requirement. Basically, what it says is that you have to be physically present, maintain residency in the U.S. for 30 months within the 5 years preceding the application, the filing of the application. And if you are outside of the United States and you've been traveling back and forth, then you have to really calculate that. If you have less than 180 days in aggregate, like in total for the past 5 years, then yes, you meet the requirement. But if you have more than 180 days for the past 5 years, then you do not meet the requirement. And sometimes you might meet some exception in terms of if you were working for, let me read it here. If let's say you were working for, you were working abroad, right, for the United States government, including the military contractors of the United States government, or a recognized American institution of research, a public international organization, an organization designed under the International Immunity Act, or a denomination or mission that has a bona fide organization in the United States for the purpose of performing ministerial or priestly functions. That's just like clergymen or missionary, like pastors, stuff like that, or non-brothers, sisters, stuff like that. So that person can get, because they're not here, because they're working outside of the country, then they meet the exceptions, even if they stay outside for more than 180 days. Okay? And a person who stay outside of the United States for more than 180 days, but less than 1 year, that person too can basically overcome that presumption if they show that they maintain ties in the United States, or they went with the intent to come back. They really have a residency here. They might be able to overcome that presumption of failing to maintain continuous physical presence. Okay, that was the problem with this person. This person went outside of the country and in aggregate for the past 5 years preceding the application, because they're applying based on the statutory requirement of the 5 years, right? Not the 3 years. We're just focusing on the 5 years. So, and that person stay for longer than that type of days, not the type, but they stay longer for the more than 180 days, but less than 1 year. So, but unfortunately, it was denied because they couldn't overcome the presumption, and they couldn't show all those other factors. So now they have to restart. And it's just like we can calculate it the way, you can, how long should you wait before you reapply. But as an example, a person who has stayed longer than 1 year, that person has to wait at least for 4 years, depending on how long they stay. Then it's either 4 years and one day after, or 4 years and 6 months. That's just case by case basis, okay? But That's the number one reason, okay? Failure to maintain continuous physical presence and residency, right? Number two is basically because of felonies. If you have you've been if you've been charged and convicted for aggravated felonies, and later on, even if you waive that conviction, for the purpose of inadmissibility, you might file for a waiver, right? Even if it was waived later on, but when it comes to U.S. citizenship, you are deemed not eligible no matter what. Aggravated felony, it's like it's over, game is over. The application is just gonna get denied. Don't even try. For those aggravated felony, don't even try. It's just wasting money. Any lawyer will tell you that, because it's just like you are not eligible, period, even if it was waived. But there was a case where a person went and really fought because they had to find out why the person was charged for felony and why the person said guilty, and then the judge, the person really had a claim of ineffective assistance of counsel because they didn't explain to him the consequences of a guilty plea. Okay, they did not explain to him the consequences of a guilty plea, and he pleaded guilty and was charged and convicted for aggravated felony. And when he went to apply for U.S. citizenship because it was denied, so he went back and got his case reviewed at the level of federal court, and they were able to really remand the case back and fix the issue. But that's just an exception, that it doesn't happen to everybody like that. The general rule is really like when a person has been convicted on aggravated felonies, the application is going to get denied because the person is deemed not eligible, ineligible for U.S. citizenship. That's it. Because of good moral and character, because they're going to say that the person lacks good moral and character. That's just how it works for aggravated felony. And number three, lacking good moral and character. That's really broad. It might be failing, not being truthful, failing to file taxes and stuff like that. Lacking good moral and character, and other criminal records. So the application might get denied. And lastly, number four, misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is basically when you got the green card by way of fraud or misrepresentation. It's going to get denied because you are deemed not being, basically you are deemed not have been admitted lawfully in the United States. Basically, it simply means that even the green card in question that you have, that green card is fraudulent. Is basically, in other words, you were not supposed to have the green card to start with. So you are not lawfully admitted. Therefore, you cannot get the U.S. citizenships or U.S. citizenship. Sorry. 4 reasons. Let's just recap. Failure to maintain continuous residency, continuous physical presence in the United States. If you break that physical presence, continuous residency, it's going to get denied. Aggravated felony, it's going to get denied. Lacking good moral and character, it's going to be denied. And lastly, misrepresentation. That's a big one. That's a big one. Misrepresentation is just going to get denied, period. But again, there's venues of appeals and stuff like that. I'm just here to lay out some foundation. I'm sure there are a lot of reasons as to why it can get denied, but those are the 4 ones that I came up with based on my consultations. If you need a consultation and you're ready to apply for your U.S. citizenship, please schedule a consultation by using the link in the description box below. Until next time, bye-bye.